My name's Michael Johnson. I've followed Blackburn Rovers for the better part of 50 years as a supporter, fan, sufferer, living the dream, the whole kit and caboodle up through the lower leagues up to now. And I'm now suffering from prostate cancer. So my aim, or what I'm trying to do, is make people more aware of it and how it affects people, because I never saw it coming. I never saw it coming. I was a lad, you know what I mean? I was a football lad. We went all over the country, liked the beer, did the whole thing. And all the signs were there, but I never saw them. I didn't see them, I didn't catch them, I didn't understand them, but they were all there to be seen. To me, it was just being a lad, you know. I was going to the toilet and I was peeing slower. You know, I was needing to go to the toilet a bit more, but that was just having a beer and getting older. You know, backache, you know, when you've been stood up and jumping about like a lunatic because you've scored 3 or 4 goals, or 7 if you're lucky and you go to Norwich, you just didn't cross your mind. And eventually, yeah, my family noticed I seemed to be getting not better because I wasn't ill. It was more like pains in my back and things like that. So they forced me to go to the doctors. Now I went to the doctors and they did what you call a Wellman clinic, which is like an MOT for an adult. The results came back and they didn't know what they were. They thought I had an infection or something like that, urine infection. So you have what you call a PSA scale. Well, that can be related by these results. So they gave me a massive course of antibiotics. Our PSA scale was 15 then. I had a massive course of antibiotics. They sent me away, came back, and my PSA scale had gone up to 35. So it had gone worse. So they said then, look, you know, we need to get you seen by somebody because we're not sure what it is. I was then sent to Burnley, where they said, right, you know, we think you've got cancer. We don't know, but we need to bring you in for a scan. We'll do the scan, see if there's anything abnormal. So they did the scan, and they said, right, we need to bring you in for a biopsy. So they brought me in for a biopsy, and they just sat me down and said, right, you've got stage 3 advanced cancer, which didn't mean jack to me because I hadn't got a clue what they were talking about. I thought I knew what cancer was. I didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue whatsoever. Stage 3 advanced cancer, they might as well told me that Santa was coming down the street. Because I didn't have cancer. I couldn't. I wasn't a cancer sufferer. I wasn't ill. I had a bad back and I couldn't go to the toilet for a week. Unfortunately, I had to take all this on board, and I went from having a scan, having a biopsy, speaking to the doctor, and 5 weeks later having a radical prostatectomy where they have a robot that removes my prostate and all the bits around it just to see if it travels. I had all that done. I came back home and I was 0, clear, fantastic, job done, until 3 weeks ago. And then they said, you've got a PSA reading again, your cancer's back. The hidden disabilities. Because I've got multiple disabilities, I haven't just got prostate, I haven't just got cancer. I was in the forces and I've got spinal damage to my C1 to my C7 vertebrae. I've just had major operations 6 weeks ago. And I'm working with clubs to basically see the disabilities you don't see, hidden disabilities. I didn't see it because I didn't know. Like I say, one of the downsides of what I've got is I have to wear one of these. Now I don't mind doing it because I don't give a anymore, pardon the language, because it's that important to me. The best way for a bloke to understand it is you go out on a Friday night, which is why I don't go out on a Friday night anymore, and just put this analogy to football. I have a beer or I have a drink or whatever. I then need to go to the toilet and I need to change my male nappy, which has got to be in a bag or somewhere, plus the cleaning equipment, plus the cleansers, the nappies, etc. So I've got all that with me. Then I've got to go to the toilet and I've got to get undressed. because it's a nappy. So I've now got to literally get from the waist down, get totally undressed, clean myself totally, etc., etc., replace my nappy, then get rid of the nappy in the non-existent bin. So you're stood there with the nappy, but that's only if you've actually got undressed, because gents' toilets are one of the nicest places on the world to get undressed in, with nothing on the floor. Clubs like Blackburn, and there are other clubs around, are making big strides into this, because it's a big thing, because it's not just for me. You've got lots of different disabilities where the facilities make the difference between going to a game or not going to a game.